In the D, where we focus on power, wealth, and style, right here live on WJZZ Cool TV. Remember to like, share, watch, subscribe, and tune in every week, every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. I am Stephanie Coney, the host, and I want to give a few quick shout outs to our sponsors, Giovanni McCall, also known as G, the short hair slayer who keeps me slayed, and also to Mina Martinez, who handles our social media marketing, and of course, the London consulting firm who sponsors and powers this show. So every week we have great guests. So of course we wouldn't we would not disappoint you this week. I have Renee Johnson here, who is a broker and the board chair for Greater Detroit Realtors Association and the owner of Mature Real Estate Services. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to the show, Renee.
Ooh, I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Steffi, for inviting me.
I'm so excited to have you here, and I love how you're representing Detroit. Clear, you've lived a lot of places, okay? Mm-hmm. But you have real, genuine love for the city of Detroit. And I see you sporting, and I see your Lions logo.
On my blue jean jacket and my Detroit shirt, it says Detroit made, real city, real people.
Real city, real people. Okay, you better know it. So let's get right into it. You've been here to the show before.
Yes.
So for those who are not, familiar or know exactly what you do, let's talk about the real estate let's talk about what you do as a career and how you give back to the community in the form of real estate.
I'm a real estate broker. Buyers, sellers, investors, rent, all kinds of things. Advice, counseling, hey, help you move boxes, pick up the dog and bring them to the showing, or hide the dog when the people come in. I do that. I am a HUD-approved housing counselor, so okay. I counsel people. I do pre-purchase counseling and help people get ready for home ownership, and then also getting their documentation and their other things together and understanding what it takes to apply for a loan so that you can also apply for down payment assistance.
What does that look like, and why did you become a HUD counselor? We'll get back to the real estate industry, but the HUD counseling is separate from being a real estate broker.
Yes, ma'am, it is. And for me, when I was on the show before and we talked about it, we kind of got into it a little bit where I talked about growing up where I lived in Detroit, and when my mother purchased her first home, how proud we were to live outside of the projects. We were in a neighborhood. We had a nice home, and we faced some discrimination, but my mother saved her money, right? That's $600, and I remember that $600 is what it took for her to get in that house.
Wow.
Back in 1976 or 77.
$600.
Somewhere around there, right?
Okay.
But I also know the struggles from doing housing counseling, from working with other housing counseling officers and managers of branches. I learned what those issues were. And then from being a real estate broker, I also understood that people just don't understand the process, right? Okay. People have been taken advantage of. People have been discriminated upon. The elderly, don't keep up with technology. They don't know where to house and get paperwork from.
Yeah.
So it's really, really, for me, key that people understand how the process works, and then how to apply themselves so that they can purchase a home. Doesn't matter if you're 18 years old or if you're 90. Right. If you're 90 years old, you can still get a mortgage.
Can you still get a mortgage at 90?
You cannot be discriminated upon because you're 90 years old getting a mortgage. So could nobody tell you, well, we're not going to give you a mortgage because you're too old.
As long as you have the income, you can purchase a home.
Age is one of the protected classes, like gender.
Okay. Yes.
Familiar status, religion, race, those things, and it's coming into play right now where you really need to understand what discrimination really is. It's
right.
in lending, it's in housing, it's in employment. And we have biases too as individuals, right?
Correct.
Where you live kind of dictates how you see and view things, where you went to school, the people you associate with, right? Us realtors and you being an insurance agent, you seem to look at things a certain way. So those are things that I wanted people to understand. That you have, even if you're going through default with your mortgage, or you're in foreclosure, you still have rights. You still have options. The tax sale, a lot of people lost their house and they didn't get their money.
Yeah.
So looking at that, you say, hey, you understand you have options. Now they have to go back and pay those people their money. Like if you go back and you
Wow.
apply
So
because you
retro.
lost your house,
Yeah.
they got to pay you that
Okay.
difference, right? Because your home was taken from you, was sold, and you didn't reap the benefits from the equity, right? After they pay their taxes and fees and that type of, those types of
Yeah.
expenses, what's left is yours. So just doing housing, being a realtor, becoming a broker, and then taking at home with diversity courses, implicit bias courses, this Fairhaven simulation that really worked with you at the level you were and helped you build your skills up to help you recognize where you're falling short of being able to help people. So understanding that and being in that environment, I was like, wow, you know what? I had to seek housing counseling myself when I first bought my house. I lost my job. The market tanked. I had just gotten into real estate, and the market that was 2008. Remember
Okay.
that?
Yep.
I went in there, and it took them about a year to actually reset my mortgage. That was a whole year I didn't have to pay, and that was when they extended the benefits.
Okay.
So I wasn't working. I was able to apply for benefits because I did also have another contract job that I worked where I paid into unemployment. So I was able
So
to
you were
get
able to
like almost a
sustain.
whole year, and I used that money to save, to pay bills, and they reset me, right?
Okay.
But but it's a recommendation from your lender that if you get behind, you should contact your lender, and the lender will tell you, go seek a HUD housing counselor.
See, a lot of people don't know that. Thank you so much for providing that information. And also, thank you for talking about the age. I had no intention of going into the age, but I want to go there a little bit because some people may think, well, I'm of a particular age. Why would I want to get into a mortgage? Why would I want to purchase a home? Well, we'll tell you why right here. You have to pay to live somewhere. So you may as well pay towards equity and leaving a legacy because you can't take it with you. And with renting, you can't control that. And you definitely can't take that with you or leave it behind. So at any age, as long as your income is sustainable, it always makes sense to
I'm
own.
glad you said that. Sustainable income. They cannot discriminate against you because you're getting SSI benefits. They cannot discriminate against you because you're getting all your money from alimony. As long as that money is long term,
Okay.
that's your payment,
That's
right?
your income.
And it's based on your income, right? There's loans out there that are not based on that are looking at credit. There's other loans that are not looking at credit. They're looking at your income, your ability to pay. And when you
At the
go
end
in
of
and
the
talk to
day.
your lender, if you've been paying $800 and you comfortable paying $800 and that's what you want to pay,
And you
then
got some money stacked up for your
and that's
down
what
payment?
you tell the lender.
Yeah.
I want to pay that. And even
Yeah.
if you don't have money stacked up, there's 100% financing programs. Even if you just get $5,000 or
Okay.
$7,500 from the
Yeah.
bank, that's enough to pay your closing costs.
Your
And
down
in some
payment.
programs, you only have to put $1,000 of your own money down. Now you
That's
might
true.
need two or I say always have two or three, because that 1,000 is going to come out of there. You got to pay for your home. You definitely want a
Your
home
inspection,
inspection, right?
yeah.
And you want a couple of dollars to move,
Right.
right? So, but I just tell people, understand your options. That gives you the power. That gives you the leverage. That gets you the understanding of, I don't have to accept this, or, oh, I know I can do this over here. I don't have to do that, right? Or, I think I want to exercise this option now because I understand better, right?
Yep.
Or, if you've been discriminated upon, we take you and we lead you to the Fair Housing Center of Metropolitan Detroit. And I'm on that board too, and I love them. They do such
Give a
great
shout
work.
out to them.
The Fair Housing Center of Metropolitan Detroit. It is led by Mr. Steve Tom Kowiak. This guy is wonderful. He does everything. Matter of fact, I was just with them on Tuesday. There was a summit here called Just Economy.
Okay.
They talked about environmental conditions. I'm working on my appraiser license. I
Okay.
sat in a session about appraisal bias and about,
So is that really a thing, Renee?
it is.
Okay.
Where
For urban areas.
where these houses were being undervalued, and you
On
change
purpose.
some pictures and send another appraiser in there, and you get a different value,
Wow.
right?
That's interesting.
It's all there.
2024 and we're still having these type of conversations.
You watch the news,
Yeah.
you see what's going on, even with the elections, right?
Yes.
He didn't know she was black.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, really, like
Yeah.
that's a bias.
Yeah.
That's racism. It could be a whole bunch of other stuff, right? We know there's some serious things going on in our world, right? And I say our world meaning America.
Yes. Every day
Because we were just
unfolding.
talking about my aunt watching
Yeah.
the
British channel.
and you
Uh-huh.
said you watch the British news because
Yeah,
you
it's
get
unbiased.
the unbiased news, and it's just the news. Hey, this happened yesterday.
Exactly.
To this person at this time.
They're not
at this place.
twisting it or bending it. And see, unfortunately, depending on what side you're on and what channel you're watching, that's where they're going to lead to, either the blue or the red. So,
Right.
that's where we are. Sadly, we're split down the middle. But also, you are the board chair for Greater Detroit Realtors Association.
Yes.
And so for
GDRA,
those-
we call it. What the
GDRA.
acronym is GDRA. It's actually GDRA.
It's GDRA.
Got a little nice little
does.
tone to it.
A G. G.
It's a G. It's GDRA.
So, for those who are unfamiliar with what being a realtor is and who GDRA, Greater Detroit Realtors Association, is and what we represent, because I am a very proud member of this organization as
Realtors
well.
too.
Please explain, what the organization does and who we are.
We are an organization of realtors, brokers, agents, insurance agents, title companies, lenders, anyone who has an interest in the real estate industry, you can join our organization. We have existed since 1947 when blacks and women were not allowed to be a part of the National Association of National Association of Realtors. So just think about that. 1947, we couldn't join. What do? We always find and make a way, right?
You have to.
This organization was started, and it's grown. Remember earlier this year in April, when we did the 100 City Building Black Wealth
Yes.
Tour? That's what we do. We believe in democracy and housing. They
Yes, we
have
do.
gone to the White House and fought the good fights for us to get some of the rights and liberties that we have with housing. They are still doing that. Locally, we do that. We have members of our boards who are on planning and zoning commissions.
Yes.
They're on land bank boards. They're running land banks. They're precinct delegates. We're out here knocking on doors for our sorors, for different things, if you're in a sorority. So there is so much that you can do as an individual and not even belonging to the organization. But for me, I've been a member since, I believe, 2016.
Wow.
And I've done
And you've held significant roles
the
and titles.
secretary. I've been
For our
vice
local chapter.
president.
Uh-huh.
I was a director prior to accepting the nomination for the board chair. So we had an opportunity, and it came up. I was nominated, and I said, you know what? I've been around for a minute. I know where the paperwork, all the items are, because I was a secretary for like 3 years.
And the secretary knows where everything is buried.
I was the vice president
A good
for 2
one.
years, and I was like, well, if anybody can do this, I can. Now, no prior board chair experience. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants,
But you're doing well.
but I take counsel from the board,
Mm-hmm.
members of the board who are on other boards, the other boards that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Our former, and I have to give a shout out to Miss Lachelle Stewart. Lachelle has kept me going. We had board training.
Shout
Even
out to
now,
Michelle and Stratagems.
stratagems. If
Yes.
you need leadership development and board training, that's who you want to see. She's been holding my hand. She's been coaching me and the president of our organization, and she will talk to any member that calls. She's the former regional vice president, director over the regional vice presidents for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. She has been the education trainer for NARAB. She's done, and she is, when I tell you, she's a taskmaster.
I didn't even know she was one of the educational directors for actual NARAB.
She was doing all that. She is like, when I tell you, she
Okay.
know what to do. She
Yes.
has built programs and systems for that large organization and for us from
Locally.
a local standpoint.
Yes.
She is coaching and pushing me to limits that I didn't even know that I
She's
could go
grooming
beyond.
you for, a lot of people think for to become our next president, Renee. You put in a lot of work.
Everybody says that.
You know
and-
the systems in and out, and you got a lot of support. So,
Yeah, but I can really say that I've grown from being a member of this organization.
yes.
I went from an agent, went to the conference. The lady said, "Oh, next time I see you, I want you to be a broker." And she said, don't come back to this conference and you haven't gone and at least taken the first class of the broker.
To take that first step.
To take that first
I
step.
can relate with you. I have met some amazing people that I consider mentors. I've met some amazing women, phenomenal women such as yourself, that motivate and inspire me to go. Even though we're on different paths and in different lanes, it's just a camaraderie, that you can do it, that genuine. You can do it because I'm doing it, because iron sharpens iron, because they're doing it and they're reaching back to show you how to do it.
And the program.
How can you not move forward?
The program.
Yes.
The opportunities to be whichever affiliate you want to go and attract. I started out with just getting my broker's license, right? From being an agent. Then I went to, hey, I would think I want to do housing counseling, right? I went and got licensed to do housing counseling, right? It's a test. It's a federal test, and now I'm on the Federal HUD register for housing counseling, so you can look me up and call me to help you with whatever your issues. And if I can't help you, I got a list of resources, and we refer to other NID housing counseling agencies, but also to other agencies that have funding, for different things. So the opportunity is there. The options are there for you. You just have to reach out and don't feel
take
shame.
advantage.
Don't feel shame, because at some point everybody needs help.
Everybody.
Right?
But each one teach one.
And I did the housing counseling. I started on the developers track, looking at, okay, what would it take if I wanted to go beyond real estate?
Okay.
Now I was looking at, hey, I can put a rehab project together, or I can go and get some money and try to put some funding and get some other people here to help me put a whole project together to do some affordable or attainable housing, whichever I'm thinking I need to do. And then I did that, got that information, like, okay, I want to do it, but I'm not quite sure how. And then by working in real estate and working in housing counseling, we're hearing about the appraisal biases. We're hearing about people who, I lived in the city of Detroit, right? I live in the city of Detroit.
Many of us do.
And our values have been low for decades, right? They have systematically kept our values low. Right? So for me, I was like, you know what? How do we, as an insurance agent, as a broker, as a housing counselor, how would we go about helping educate our communities, right? Because we work in our communities. We are democracy in housing. We are in the communities helping people fill out tax forms to get assistance with their taxes, right? The Wayne County Treasurer does a great job. You can go put a down payment down and pay your taxes out, right? You can fall off that program and get back on. DTE gives you a program. The water department gives you a program, right? These are resources to help you kind of manage your cash flow so you can get back to doing what you need to do.
And because when we're able to get back to what we need to do, that helps everybody.
It helps your family. It helps your kids focus in school, your parents, if you have relatives that you have to care for. Like I was telling you myself, helping my aunt with my other aunt sleeping. I slept on the floor last night because I had to help. I had to be there to keep her from falling out of the bed. And eventually we both got up. She was in another room. We came and got in the bed with her and patted her on each side so that she could not get up in the middle of the night and fall again. Herself. She fell 6 times already. Wow. But I'm just saying, having an understanding of what my commitment is to my community, but my commitment is to myself, is to my family, is to help my friends, is to lift people up. And I'm not saying I'm always perfect, because I'm short-tempered sometimes.
Someone who is.
But I know that being a housing counselor, now working on my appraiser license, where I got a scholarship.
So let's talk
being
about
a part
that.
of the Greater Detroit Realtors Association, which is the local chapter of NARAB.
And you are doing well in this program.
They're working with the Urban League. They're working with Flagstar Bank and Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. This whole program was put together to provide scholarships for African Americans, to put more African Americans into the appraisal industry.
Since we have these biases. So you obviously already have a passion for that, which is probably why you're doing so well in the course. And for anybody who doesn't understand, this is not a simple fly-by-night course, okay? This takes commitment, time, and a lot of effort. So you kind of covered your passion about the appraisal. Let's talk about how you won the scholarship and how many people applied for the scholarship. First of all,
Anybody can apply. They just had a class, a interest meeting on the 24th.
of
I
September?
had one of our members, yes, to call me and say my cousin wants to go into, to be an appraiser. What about that program? Like, here it is, and I said make sure she attends the event tonight. There was another
Okay.
lady wanted the information. They attended it. All you have to do is write a 300-word essay
Okay.
and submit your resume. Right? Get your resume together. Put your info down.
Mm-hmm.
Get somebody to help you. Spell check it. Do what you would normally do for your resume.
Right.
It's a 300-word essay, and you
It's
submit
not
it,
a lot of words.
and they go over it. Right?
Mhm.
And then they say, hey, but I found out about this through the Freddie Mac rep that was here at the Housing Counseling Center,
Wow.
coming to check out our center and talk to me about what was happening. And she says, hey, I'm going up the street to this place. Do you know where it is? I said, I know where the building is, but what you going there for?
Uh-huh.
And she was like, oh, this is going on. I said, well, I think I need to go and check it out. And I did. And they went through the appraisals and how these things are biased and what the demographics of the appraisers that are currently appraising, and it's time for them to retire. It's time
Yeah.
for them to come out.
Fresh blood.
And
Yeah.
they're in other cities coming down to your city to do appraisals, right? They know nothing about Detroit.
They know
So
nothing about it.
a lot
yeah.
of these appraisals reflect that.
So how long is the appraisal program, and what is the?
It's a year. It's about the
exact title
same
of it?
time you would actually do if you had to go out and work this program and pay for it yourself.
Mhm.
It's about a year. There's 4 to 8 meetings every month where they have
4 to 8 meetings.
yes.
Is that on top of the class?
That's on top of your studies. There's 4 to
That's a
8
lot of
meetings,
commitment.
but they're teaching you how to use the HP 12C calculator because
Okay.
that's the only thing you can take into the test is that calculator in your brain.
Okay.
Right? So that's going on. You're talking to other appraisers. You're talking to other companies that hire appraisers.
Mhm.
You're talking to other representatives from Freddie Mac, from Fannie Mae, from all of these entities, right? They're coming together to help you understand what's happening. And then if they're hiring and you finish your courses, they're telling you, hey, we hired this person's working here. So you get to see the people that were in the scholarship program and how they've progressed.
Wow.
So and it's all tied together, right? We're helping each other. We're calling on each other. I can call them and get assistance. And we have another local person here that I'm working with that's in the program.
Okay.
So we've been bouncing things off of each other.
Okay.
She's on the 3rd module, like I'm on the 3rd module, but she's a little ahead of me, right?
Right.
And
But iron sharpens iron. So
and we've been
Yeah.
like, hey, we got to get 100%. It used to be
Yeah.
80% for the first 2 modules. Now it's 100% before you go to the next.
see,
one.
it's full throttle.
And
Yep,
so from
it's
that,
full throttle.
but there's so many other programs, right?
Mhm.
If you wanted to be in the YRD, the Young Realtors Division, if you wanted to be in sales, if you want to do commercial, if you want to do international real estate, right? There's a lady that came and taught some classes on how to navigate internationally,
Mhm.
right? Knowing the nuances of being in another country, trying to do business as a real estate agent. Some of us have multiple licenses in multiple states, right?
And some of us don't. So there's that referral
There's
opportunity
referrals.
and building that.
And I've gotten
relationship.
plenty of referrals, and I've referred. My most recent referral was my young cousin, who's in the military in Jacksonville, Florida. I referred her to one of my contacts, Miss Dr. Melissa Chester,
Okay.
and you know she's phenomenal. You've seen her at the conferences, and my cousin was very well taken care of. In a month's time, with a VA loan, she closed and got into a home. And she's in school working. She said, she's working on her doctorate degree. They
Yeah.
clicked. I knew who to give my cousin to. I knew who was going to take care of her. I've gotten referrals from Tennessee from someone here. I've gotten referrals from Cleveland for someone here. I've referred people. So you can make money. You can refer and get money. You don't have to try to hoard and do everything. If that's not a state you're licensed in,
Right.
you find somebody.
And they will take care of. And see, that's the thing about this organization. It's about building relationships. And to our audience out there, we want to thank you again for watching. You're watching Beauty and the D, where we stream live here every Saturday from 1 to 2 on WJZZ Cool TV. And today we have our very special guest, Renee Johnson, who is a broker for Mature Real Estate Services and also the board chair for Greater Detroit Realtors Association. So I want to just dial it back just a little bit, Renee, and tell us, how did you even come to find Wjzz and become a realtor in the first place?
My former broker was a member. I think he had received, when they were working to help brokers get those REO contracts.
Okay.
He was a member of the organization, and a lot of them received those contracts to help them because they were just going to other realtors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was someone that helped our demographic of folk get in there and get some of those contracts to service those REO properties, that were going out for sale.
Mm-hmm.
One day we were in the office. He's like, "Hey, Renee, I can't go to this meeting. I need you to go to this meeting and tell me what you think." But I think he set me up. I think
He probably set you up to drink the Kool-Aid.
intentionally set me up because he knew we went to high school together, and I knew him in high school. I didn't know him in high school, but I knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So we were always chatting and laughing and talking about things. And he was saying he was going and meeting with this broker group during the time they were helping each other with sales.
And this was what year?
2016.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, just go to this meeting, tell me what you think." I went to one meeting, and I've been going ever since.
Wow.
And it's been up and down because everybody has...
But that says a lot, because you're not one of the type of people that just jumps on a wave or jumps on the boat or the bandwagon of what everyone else is doing. So this says a lot.
I met women in real estate. I met black women in real estate. I met women from the city of Detroit in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the first midwinter that I was a part of was here in Detroit. I met some more people, right? I was like, "Hey, these people are pretty cool."
Yeah.
My first conference was New Orleans. We just came from New Orleans for the second time, and it was just like it was the parade we had. Every party we had in New Orleans that previous time, it was a parade at every function.
Every function.
It was a celebration for everything.
Yeah.
And every time I go to a midwinter or to a national conference, right? It's a celebration of our members. It's a celebration of our leadership, our history, where we've come from in real estate and owning and leveraging wealth and building wealth. And I'm seeing people that have 150 agents working for them that own construction companies that have families have passed down the business to them in commercial real estate where they're developing whole blocks. We just had our first academy of 50, I think it was 50 realtors who graduated from the developers program, and they're talking about doing it for 500 this time.
Really?
So,
oh my goodness!
And so thinking about that, I was like,
all types of opportunities.
There's so many opportunities, and when you're talking with people, you don't even know what you don't know. Like I thought I knew a lot and been around for a minute. But the 8 years that I've been a part of this organization, there's still people I haven't met. We've lost people. Yeah. We've had some ups and downs with the fights and the struggles that we're in our communities.
Yes.
Like, hey, I need you guys to come here.
Yeah.
And what we're doing now,
it's huge.
We got another opportunity to help people.
We're going to get into that in just a sec. But you are a woman in real estate.
We have a wire group, Women in Real Estate.
And you are yourself a woman in real estate. And you have just earned several accolades on top of accolades. Let's talk about your recent accolade. What was that? Was that Tuesday at the event? At the
Wednesday.
casino?
It was Wednesday. At our Michigan Realtors have their annual conference this year. It was at the Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant. Mm-hmm. And I was one of 37 from the state of Michigan who was nominated for Realtor of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. For your particular board, every year they nominate someone.
And which board was this?
The Detroit Association of Realtors, where I am the secretary and I manage their website for them.
How do you have time to do all
It's the oldest real estate board since 1890. Yes.
I didn't know that. 1890.
Yes.
DAR.
Yes, Detroit Association of Realtors. And I was nominated from my board of realtors and my application was sent in, and I was one of the 37 there, and you go on, you march across the stage, and then one of the 37 wins. It was not me, but the
That's
two
okay.
people that I thought were going to win, one of them did win.
Okay.
And when I tell you, I could not outwork this woman if I tried. Either one of them. When I see what they do online,
Yeah.
they work. And one
Phenomenal.
lady, she's phenomenal, and she has you would not even know her handicap, right?
Okay.
She had lost her. I think she had an accident and lost one of her arms.
Uh-huh.
But this lady works. When I tell you real estate, when I tell you the
Yeah.
real estate residential council, where she's on that, she told me she was going to be president this next year. She wanted my help. I said, listen, I can't join another committee. I can't join another board.
Right.
But I will do an event for you, a networking event.
Yes.
The Move for Hunger. We collect canned goods and stuff.
Okay.
I said, I will do that. And she was in, so the way I know her is 3 years ago, I was in the Michigan Realtors Leadership Academy. We
Okay.
started in 2020.
Wow,
2020.
Renee.
We had one session, COVID hit, and we had
Okay.
to go through the next year to finish up.
Mhm.
But it's where 14 people are chosen from the state of Michigan to, be in this group, individuals getting
Uh-huh.
trained for leadership.
Renee, how many boards do you sit on?
3. 4.
How do you have
No, I sit on 4.
4 boards and you're a broker? You're in the Academy for Appraisal. How do you handle all this time management?
All of it doesn't require the same amount of time.
Okay.
So I kind of manage it there,
Because you still got to make money.
and I still service my clients
Yeah.
and work that. Now it does take away from that time, but I'm learning to be better, and to be better for myself, and to be better for my clients, and giving what I give.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to cut back on some things.
Okay.
But what I've done is kind of put some systems and organizations in place, right,
Mhm.
to help the people that I'm trying to help,
Mhm.
and then those who are with me trying to help those people, right?
Gotcha.
Put some processes together that help kind of streamline things,
Mhm.
so it doesn't take as long. You don't have
And
to do as much,
balance.
and balance it,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm gonna be termed off of one board. So I'm not gonna be doing some of those duties.
Mhm.
The others, I'm like, okay, if I did this right here, oh, now I get it, right? As you see other people and you talk to other people that are
Mhm.
doing these things, that's why it's important to attend conferences, to
Yeah.
attend. I went to the regional meeting we had for Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. I went to that in June.
Mhm.
I actually sat with all the Ohio realtors and what they were working on. They
Mhm.
have 7 or 8 chapters in Ohio.
And they're pretty huge over there in Ohio.
They've used leadership training. They've
Mhm.
used board training. Their RVP meetings, the regional meetings that we have as individuals
Mhm.
being a part of the organization that we're supposed to attend quarterly. Like
Mhm.
yourself, you would attend those. I would attend those.
Mhm.
And then I'm on the leadership calls because I'm board chair. And, we had a time where we had a gap with our presidency. We had our president resign, and then we had to kind of transition.
Mhm.
So I've been on those calls since March,
Yeah.
right? And I've been learning and understanding this is what presidents do. This is why this is important. This is why you have to talk to people. This is why they said it. But this is also what they're missing, right? They do understand that presidents come in and they don't know what to do because there may not be any succession
Right.
planning
Right.
or anything for them.
But there does have to be vision. So
There's
we
vision, and
thank
you get that vision from
Yep.
the people. What do our people need?
Mhm.
What do our members want? What's going to help you grow your business?
Right.
You're not just going to join an organization unless you feel you're going to get something out of it, and you want to give something back, but you don't
Absolutely.
want to, take more than you give.
That's right.
That's how the Bible says, right?
And we're not takers. People like you and I would rather be a giver. I just posted that the other day. I would rather be a giver any day than to sit back and be a taker. You know what I mean? Because when you give, that's a testimony and extension of showing what God has given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you give back. And so in talking about giving back, we have this great event coming up next week as we are talking about building wealth. Can you please tell before we can get into that, I need you to give yourself a shout out. Renee, for those who want to contact you and talk about anything from HUD counseling to looking at a property, how can they contact you?
Okay, well, hey, thank you for putting me out there like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Renee Johnson. I'm at Mature Real Estate Services. My telephone number is 248-406-6015. And I'm also at Renee, Renae, at reneejohnson.realtor. And it's my website is the same, reneejohnson.realtor. That's www.reneejohnson.realtor. REALTOR, not realtor. REALTOR. People say, hey, I need a realtor. You're going to be my realtor. It's like, well, it's not 3 syllables. It's realtor.
It's so technical. Are you on social media? Can people follow
I'm
you
on
there?
social media. I have a Facebook page, business page, and it is called Amazing Southeastern Michigan Homes.
All right.
And I do postings from there. I find all kinds of resources from the city, from the county, from the state, from HUD housing, from whatever I find that I think people could use, I put it out there.
Excellent.
So you could look for me at Amazing Southeastern Michigan Homes.
Well,
and I tell you, I put out what I can find because I know people need it. Like today, we actually have our District 1 meeting.
Okay.
And so I usually go, but I wasn't able to attend because this morning, I was still with my aunt. I think I'm functioning off about 2.5, maybe 3 hours of sleep.
Wow.
Because I had just keep getting back up. But I just said, I'll miss that meeting that's going on, but it's on Facebook. So when I get back and take my nap,
look at it.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a look. I'm going to listen to that. But it's important that I just stay up and current with things. And it's important that I give the information that I give. Like I just posted all of the city stuff for the programs. They have the 0% loan, 0% interest loan.
The city of Detroit?
Yes.
Who is that for?
I don't remember exactly. I just saw it was about 5 or 6 different things in a list that I got on my cell phone.
Okay.
I clicked on it and I was like, hey, you know what? It says share. I clicked and shared it on Facebook because I'm like, other people would need to know.
Yeah.
The
city is giving away some
the
money.
tax if you're looking for help with your taxes, that was there. And then the $25,000 grant program that the city of Detroit has, there was some funds left. I don't know how much is actually left now.
Okay.
Because people have been applying for those dollars, and those $25,000 goes fast.
Yes, it does.
And hopefully this is the second go round. Hopefully there'll be a third go round.
Yes.
We're really hoping that some of the other banks and organizations and the foundations feel like, hey, we need to put some money towards that.
Yeah.
Right? To help people. And they're stacking those dollars. I'm watching one lady at on Facebook. She's a lender and she's getting that 25 and she's putting the 15 here over there, or 5 on top of that, or the 10 over here. And I'm like, and she's holding up the big check when the people close, saying they got 30,000, saying this person got 42,000.
Yeah.
And this is what we tell people in the home buyer education classes, that you can get these dollars and these dollars
and
are stacked.
get your piece of the pie.
Pay your closing costs.
Yes.
Pay your prepaids. Take the money, use some for your down payment, and use the rest to pay down your mortgage. Right? Cut those expenses and you get in there and you got you can buy points with it.
Yeah.
The rates was at 6.25. We had a little small drop in the interest rates. You can buy some points. Buy it down because it'll save you some money over the long term. Or you pay more down and but your lender. This is where that math comes in, that appraiser math or that lender math. After you make your down payment, your points are against what your loan amount is. So it's 1%. Is 1 point, is 1% of your loan. So if you're buying three points, that's 3% of whatever your loan is. Those are calculations that you need to understand.
And that goes into your monthly payment. So yes,
you might be able to take some of the down payment assistance and pay for that. So but you learn this by going and meeting with other realtors. I go to any lender presentation because I just don't know.
Well, it's so much to know.
It's so much to know.
It all. It's a constant evolving market. It's constant evolving economics. So you have to stay. New programs coming in every 5 minutes. And some going away.
New demographics of people, right?
Yeah.
New markets that need assistance. Like I always talk about reaching out to the deaf community because at my church I was one of the sign language interpreters.
Oh my goodness, Renee, what don't you know?
I got as far as signing the songs and the prayer. I was not so good at
the sermon.
Hey, that's a whole nother skill. But
I can imagine.
but standing up in front of 1,600 people on a Sunday and you are not 100% perfect.
Yeah.
Is a true testament for me
who
because
100% perfect?
But it made me not ashamed. It made me not afraid to stand in front of people and talk.
Okay.
Even if you don't know everything you think you should know, you offer something and you can share something. And I share.
We know you're not afraid
what I
to talk,
learned.
and you don't meet strangers. You are not afraid to share information that you have with others and educate them.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you are truly inspiring. So let's talk about October 5th. What's going on? What's
October
happening?
5th. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This came from our national headquarters.
Hot.
The
sizzling.
USDA had some grant funds, and these grant funds were applied for by our national president, Mrs. Dr. Courtney Rose, President Johnson Rose, President. You could say it 1,000 different ways, right? And she received those funds, and there's 4 local chapters are putting this event on.
Really?
We are one of the 4.
Yay.
The first one was Philadelphia. They just had theirs 2 weeks ago. Today, Phoenix is doing theirs.
Oh, okay.
Phoenix is happening today. Next Saturday, October 5th, and this thing came so fast, I thought we were going to have more time, and we are really, really, truly, and sincerely trying to get the word out. We need the farmers there. We need the clergy there with the folks in their congregations that own land.
Like,
don't
share,
know
tell everybody, people.
Yes, and so on October 5th, we have it's part of our NARAB Building Black Wealth Tour, and just like we did in April, this is an extension. They called this the Black Farmer Edition. Next thing I know, it was called the Black Farmers and Clergy Edition because of the land piece of it, right?
Okay.
Churches get donated a lot of land. The pastors are out here and these churches have this land. Or family members.
And what is this land for?
People taking the land to farm maybe. Or develop it for housing. Or develop it for a business. You know what I mean? Sell off parcels or rent it, right? To a company.
Would this event have talk about resources that are available to these
what's
farmers?
going to happen is, this is a collaboration with the USDA and NARAB. They have collaborated together to provide support and solutions for Black farmers and clergy. So this, when I tell you this is so great, and they're talking about the resources include food and nutrition programs for churches, assistance with farm stress, access to capital and funding, and real estate resources. So what we're talking about is, you know how they say we have food deserts, we have food insecurities in some areas. You know, we have, like here in our area, we have Forgotten Harvest, we have gleaners, you know, churches on different days they give out food, right?
Absolutely.
And we talk about food insecurity is real for some people.
Yeah.
You know, we have those people, and I'm going to tell you something, this is what I do. When folks are in my counseling session and they're trying to save money, I said, why not go to the food bank and grab some of those food to save on some groceries and take that money and pay off some other stuff, right? Because a lot of times these programs get this funding, and if they don't spend that money, a lot of times they don't get that money back, right? They take that money and they won't get, further funds,
right?
Because they're not giving away. I've been driving down the street and seeing churches giving away money with the people standing on the street, flagging you to come in. I went one day, I got some stuff I was just getting something from my sister. They dumped enough in my car for 2 more families. Wow. And I was like, dude, what am I going to do with this food? I took the stuff back, just dropped food off to my sister, went back to her house, dropped off some more food. Then I took the stuff that I received. My neighbors didn't need it. I went to the dollar store and found a lady coming out of the store with 4 children and bags of stuff from the dollar store. And I said, ma'am, do you need any milk or groceries? And she was like, yeah, I got all these kids. I said, open your trunk. I said, I'm about to give you all these groceries that these people just gave me.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that, right? We have Black farmers, and they
I
need
didn't realize
resources.
we had that many Black farmers.
It's a lot of and we're talking regional, right? We're talking Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. So they opened it up to the region, right? But we have a lot of local farmers.
I just learned this from
our
this
national
program.
council. I was talking with him about this program because they're doing a panel on heirs property and talking about what to do with Big Mama's house and her land. You're left with this land. What could you do with it? They're going to have a session on some options for your land. They're going to have lawyers there for you to be able to have conversations with the lawyers to help you make a decision as to what's the best thing that you could possibly do with the land that you have. Or if you're in Big Mama's house because Big Mama passed away 20 years ago and now you need to secure, ownership for this home, this is what we're helping people with. If you're on your farm and you need funding, you're looking for a loan, the Minority Truckers Association is going to be there.
Really?
The USDA is coming to help farmers apply, and they're going to do their application so that they can take WIC and SNAP.
For the farmers.
For the farmers.
So listen, people, if you're watching, if you know of any farmers who could benefit from these resources that will be available to them, please pass this word on. This event is going to be huge. It's going to be big. It's going to be epic. And it's going to be helpful to a lot of people. What is the location? Where is this event going to take place?
So we are on October 5th from 9:30 is our kickoff. 10 o'clock we have our opening ceremony.
Okay.
We're providing a free lunch.
Free lunch?
Free lunch.
Okay.
Now you got to get there, be one of the ones to get the lunch, right? You want to be in the house. It's at Wayne County Community College District. It's their Northwest campus, which is 8200 West Outer Drive.
Okay.
So we're going to be there from 9:30 to 3. Wayne County Community College District, they're going to have resources there. They have a 2-year agricultural program.
Wow.
Those students graduate and go to Michigan State University for a 4-year degree in agriculture.
Okay.
Right? I'm on the MSU extension. They're going to be there. They do continuing education classes like food, nutrition, financial resources. They also have a housing counseling class that they do. Right?
Okay.
There's so many resources out there. And you're
So
going to
how
have
can people register for this?
They can register by going to www.nareb, N-A-R-E-B, blackwealthtour.com. So that's www.nareb, There's 2 B's in there, right? So N-A-R-E-B, BLACKWEALTHTOUR.com.
And are there going to be any other vendors that you know of at this event?
London Consulting's going to be there with
Yes,
some
we will.
insurance tips. We're going to have Chase Bank is going to be there.
Okay.
Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae have confirmed.
Okay.
I just talked with Fifth Third. Hopefully they're going to confirm.
Okay.
We have reached out to a lot of the other lenders. We have the Wayne County Land Bank, the Detroit Land Bank.
Yeah.
The Detroit Land Bank as well. I just talked to Friends of Fathers who were there last time.
Okay.
They help men with child support issues, kind of
Okay.
help them get straight. Those are people, that's another demographic of persons that could actually
Yes.
use some help to get situated for housing counseling, to apply for grants or to purchase a home. Or
So
maybe
who
they have a
should attend
business.
this event?
Everybody.
Everybody.
The black farmers, the local church clergy, a lot of, we reached out to them, so some of them are going to be there. The students of Wayne County Community College, the students of MSU. One of our members just said, hey, I got in contact with Wayne State University. There's a program there. So some of those students are going to be attending. We're putting this out to the community.
Absolutely.
They're going to broadcast it. We got it nationally. We have some regional stuff going on. And we're really hoping that we can service 100 to 200 people. We're expecting that. We're going to service whoever comes.
Absolutely. We're going to start.
But we're going to have those resources. We're going to have some title
on
companies there.
deck to talk to
talking
people
about title.
on site.
There's a few other resources.
This time goes by fast. We have 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, what can you summarize about the NAREB Black Wealth Tour and our Black Farmers Initiative, and what you want people to know about you and the chair? I know this a lot in 2 minutes.
Right. Well, I just want people to understand that this is important. This is an initiative for black farmers to obtain resources and assistance with business, right? And when we talk about our farmers, how we hear on the news about funds being stripped away from them, the lending. We got with crops, right? We got these hurricanes and floods.
Yes.
There's all kinds of stuff going on. That's not in our region, but those are things that they have issues with,
Yes,
right?
economic.
Farm stress, the stress of maintaining a farm, the stress of, the financial pieces of that, your family, right? And we're reaching out to the farmers in our region, which is Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, and we're reaching out nationally. So we have the Minority Truckers Association coming. So when we're gonna have the lenders, attorneys, they've reaching out to HBCUs, the Divine Nine fraternities and sororities, our local communities, and we're spreading this word because we want people to understand that you're gonna gain from attending this event, even if you're not a farmer. You're going to still get valuable resources because those resources are going to be there.
Absolutely.
Right?
And there's a lot of land here. Talk about that real quick. We got 1 minute. It's a lot of land here in Detroit.
And we want you to better understand that these resources are available. Where you can get some legal counseling, where you can get loans, where you can get support from the USDA. My understanding at the last event they did, USDA came rolling hard with 7 tables of people with information for farmers. And you can get a USDA loan for in a rural area.
Yes.
You can apply and get a USDA loan for housing. You can buy the land with the house on it, right?
So we will have someone providing all of that information and many more next week on October the 5th.
And much more networking and relationships.
Yes. Oh, and we're going to have something for the realtors too, right? Are we going to do the CE course or?
The CE course is scheduled. We're putting that on. The schedule was changed.
Okay.
But they made it was changed for a good thing.
Okay.
So the actual event ends at 1:30. And so from 1:30 to 3:30, they left that time available it ends at 1:30.
Okay.
From 1:30 to 3 o'clock.
Okay.
They left that time available so that you can attend the expo where these resources are going to be.
Awesome.
So during the 10 to 1 o'clock time frame, there's going to be some sessions going on in the main area.
Okay.
And then they set it up to where it's at 1:30. You going out there and have your conversations with the vendors, right? They wanted to make sure you had that
some one-on-one opportunity.
One-on-one. And you're
So
gonna be
if
able
people have any questions real quick, Renee, if they want to ask you some more about the event or contact you, or maybe they forgot how to register, how can they contact you?
contact me at 313. No, actually, I said the 248-406-6015. Use that number. That's my real estate number, but I'll answer it. If I don't answer it, it will record a message and I will contact you back. If you're interested in sponsorship, you can email the organization. It's gdramember@gmail.com. gdramember, member, @gmail.com. We'll send you a packet of information if you want to register. Just remember, NARABBlackWealthTour.com. It's going to ask you which location. Right now, they're looking at Phoenix, Detroit, and Hampton comes up after us.
Okay.
So you pick Detroit, you answer the questions, and you will be registered, and we want you to show up. We want you to show up with someone. Bring a +1. This is an opportunity for you to bring a +1. You can register them early, or you can register them when they get there. But we will get your information. We want to send you reminders. We want to make sure you understand and know what we're doing and what we're about.
All right.
So
well,
come
thanks
on
so
out.
much for being here, Renee. And thank you, Detroit, for tuning in to Beauty in the D. Every Saturday from 1 to 2, where we focus on power, wealth, and style. Remember to watch, click, like, share, and subscribe.